The essence of true worship. Worship is more than singing songs in a church. It's a heartfelt expression of love and reverence for God. It's about acknowledging His greatness and surrendering to His will. True worship transcends rituals. It flows from a heart overflowing with gratitude and awe. When we truly worship, we connect with the divine. We open ourselves to His presence and experience His peace. It's in those moments of genuine worship that we find our spirit renewed and our faith strengthened. Worship is a powerful expression. It may not be fully understood in its divine purpose, but it seems to have the capability that shifts certain spiritual domains, or should I say, spiritual frequencies. It has the ability to change us from the inside out. It was discovered that if you contemplate on God long enough, something surprising happens in the brain. Neural functioning begins to change. Different circuits become activated while others become deactivated. New dendrites are formed, new synaptic connections are made, and the brain becomes more sensitive to subtle realms of experience. As we lift our voices and hearts in worship, we invite God's transforming power into our lives. Tracing the roots of worship. The desire to worship is woven into the fabric of humanity. From the dawn of time, people have sought ways to connect with something greater than themselves. Ancient civilizations built temples and offered sacrifices as acts of devotion to their deities. These societies, and in some contemporary communities, worship was viewed as affecting all aspects of the life of the community, since it was recognized to provide the means for preserving and renewing life itself. The most common word for worship literally means bend over or bow down. It describes a gesture of respect or submission to human beings, to God or to idols. For example, Genesis chapter 18 verse 2, Exodus chapter 20 verse 4 to 6. The word worship itself has its roots in Old English, meaning worthship or worthiness. This highlights the core idea of worship, ascribing worth and honor to someone or something we deem greater than ourselves. Across cultures and throughout history, the forms of worship may vary, but the essence remains the same. A yearning to connect with the divine, to express gratitude, and to find meaning in something larger than ourselves. Worship in the biblical narrative. The Bible is replete with examples of worship. We see the example of the power worship in the battle against Amalekites in Exodus chapter 17 verse 8 to 16, when Moses was worshiping God. And through that act of worship, Joshua and the Israelites won the battle there and proved that worship can affect certain outcomes. We see more examples of this form of expression affecting various scenarios throughout the Bible. The Psalms of David to the Songs of Moses, we see a consistent theme of praising God for His power, love, and faithfulness. In the New Testament, Jesus Himself exemplified a life of worship. He often withdrew to solitary places to pray and connect with His Father. He taught His disciples to pray and emphasized the importance of a relationship with God. But the hour is coming and is now here, when the true worshippers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father is seeking such people to worship Him. God is spirit, and those who worship Him must worship in spirit and truth. John 4:23-24 ESV. These verses remind us that true worship goes beyond outward rituals. It's about connecting with God on a deeper level in spirit and in truth. The transformative power of worship. Worship has a profound impact on our lives. When we set aside time to focus on God, we shift our perspective. Our problems seem smaller and His love feels bigger. Worship cultivates gratitude. As we reflect on God's goodness and faithfulness, our hearts are filled with thankfulness. This gratitude spills over into other areas of our lives, making us more content and joyful. Moreover, worship strengthens our faith. When we declare God's greatness and remind ourselves of His promises, our faith is rekindled. We are reminded that He is in control and that we can trust Him even in difficult times. Worship, the ultimate act of honor. Worship is the highest form of honor we can give to God. It's an acknowledgement of His sovereignty and our dependence on Him. When we humble ourselves before Him, surrendering our desires and aligning our will with His, we are truly honoring Him. This doesn't mean we have to be perfect. God desires our genuine worship, offered with a sincere heart. He sees past our imperfections and welcomes our heartfelt expressions of love and devotion. Just as a loving parent cherishes a child's handmade gift, God treasures our sincere worship, no matter how simple it may seem. Cultivating a heart of worship. Cultivating a heart of worship is an ongoing journey. It's about incorporating worship into our daily lives, not just reserving it for Sunday services. We can worship through music, prayer, reading His Word, and simply by acknowledging His presence in our everyday moments. As we make worship a priority, we'll discover that it's not just an obligation, but a delight. It's in those moments of heartfelt connection with our Creator that we find true joy, peace, and fulfillment. May our lives become living sacrifices of worship, honoring Him with every breath we take. Thank you for joining us and listening. We appreciate your support. You can also find us and follow us on Facebook and TikTok. You can subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We are now available on Meta channels on the WhatsApp platform. Till next time on the next episode of Wisdom of Naive Minds, let us grow together in faith and understanding of how powerful we can be when we stand in true worship.